Hey scientists, it's Mr. Crouch from Over the Top Science. Today we'll be working on the physical property of mass. We'll learn what mass is, we'll talk about some tools for measuring mass, we'll discuss some metric units for measuring mass, and I'll teach you the correct way of using a pan balance. Let's get started. Okay, let's open our science journal to a new page. Let's review some terms from the last few days. Matter, anything that has mass and takes up space, and mass is the amount of matter in an object. We talked about in the last lesson that mass is a physical property of matter, and it is a physical property that can be measured. Today we'll be using some tools to measure mass and discussing how they work. Alright, so let's discuss some tools that we're going to use to measure matter. So let's skip a line in our science journal and let's write tools for measuring matter. And we're going to make a bolded list. So what tools can you think of? So what science tools did you think of for measuring matter? Did you think of the scale? You might find a scale in a grocery store for measuring meat. I'm sure you may have a scale in your bathroom. How about a pan balance? And my favorite, the triple beam balance. Alright, getting back to our bolded list, our science tools. First we saw a scale, then we saw a pan balance, and then my favorite, a triple beam balance. Let's go ahead and draw some simple pictures next to it. Here's a picture of a scale. Here's a picture of a pan balance. And here's a picture of a triple beam balance. Well, now that we know what science tools we'll be using to measure mass, we have to figure out what unit we're going to use. And by unit, I mean things like ounces, pounds, and tons. Well, those are the units you usually use. But in science, we use the metric system. It all starts with the gram. So here is a paper clip. And this paper clip has a mass of about 1 gram. Alright, let's skip a line in our science journal and let's write metric units for measuring mass. And we said the metric unit for measuring mass was the gram. So let's write gram. And the abbreviation for gram is a small g. And again, a paper clip has a mass of about 1 gram. So let's write that so we can understand just exactly what it is we're dealing with. And, I like to draw a picture, so let's draw a little picture of a paper clip. Helps us illustrate our point. Now, the great thing about the metric system is instead of changing the word, you just put a prefix in front of it. See, the customer units, you go ounces, pounds, tons. Here, we're going to keep the root word of gram, and we're going to put a prefix in front of it. So do you know what the smallest gram is? That's right, it's the milligram. So let's skip a line and write milligram. And the abbreviation for milligram is mg. So go ahead and write that as well. So now what I want to do is I want to put a line between the prefix and the root word. So milli changes the gram. So milli has an amount. So you know what milli means? It sounds like million, but it's not. It actually means 1/1000th of. So it literally means 1/1000th of a gram. So go ahead and write that, 1/1000th of a gram. So here, I'm going to write here, 1,000 milligrams equals 1 grams. So what that means is if we took our paper clip and we took some cutters, if we cut it into 1,000 pieces, each little piece would weigh 1 milligram. Now, it would be very difficult to get 1,000 little pieces with this tool, but you get the idea. So what do you think an example of something that weighs a milligram is? Well, a grain of sand would weigh about 1 milligram. So let's put that as our example. So if you took milligrams and multiply it by 1,000, you get the grams. If you took grams and divided by 1,000, that would be how many milligrams you have. So we've talked about milligram, which is 1/1000th of a gram, which is the mass of a grain of sand. We've talked about gram, which is about the mass of a paper clip. Do you know what the largest gram is? Do you know what prefix we're going to put now? Did you say kilogram? That is correct. And the abbreviation for kilogram is small kg. Okay, so we have kilograms. So what's the prefix here in kilogram? Yes, it's kilo. So I'm going to draw a line just like I did before. and we're going to put the meaning. What do you think the prefix KILO means? It means 1,000. So it literally means 1,000 grams. So I'll write 1,000 here. And so it means 1,000 grams. Okay, so 1 kg, 1 kilogram, equals 1,000 grams. So what do you think has the mass of 1 kilogram? What has the mass of 1,000 small paper clips? You could say several things. The standard people like to think of is the old school big thick dictionaries. But even a laptop is pretty close. A laptop is slightly less than a kilogram, of course, depending on the size of the laptop. So I'm going to use laptop because that's something we can all relate to. So example, approximately the mass of a laptop. If you have any other examples, please go ahead and put them. So a laptop, and make sure anytime you draw a diagram or picture, you want to label it, and it is about 1 kilogram. Okay, so to review all the units used to measure mass, the smallest one is the milligram, which is 1/1000th of a gram. Then we have, of course, the gram, which is the one we mentioned that goes in the middle. And then we have the kilogram, which is the largest gram, and that is 1,000 grams. Now in math class, you're going to learn about a couple of others that go in the middle, such as centi, deca, and whatnot. But in science, these are the most popular ones. You will see the centi as in centimeter when you're measuring length. But other than that, these are the prefixes you're going to see when you're talking about the units in science. Okay, scientists, we're going to begin to measure mass. So if you'd like to participate in this section, you'll need a small metal paperclip, a pencil, and a marker. If you don't have all the items, that's fine. What we have here is a pan balance. It's used to measure the physical property of mass. You can find it in any elementary, middle, or high school classroom. And if you're interested for one at home, you get one for about $15 or $20 on Amazon. What this is used for is some people use it, one, to compare masses. So if you have the pencil and the marker, take it out. Hold it in your hand. Which one do you think has more mass? Write down your prediction in your science journal. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put the pencil in one side. And we observe that this side of the pan balance goes down. So now I'm going to put this one in this side. So since this one went down further, we know that the marker has more mass than the pencil. By using the pan balance, we learned that the marker had more mass than the pencil. However, we did not learn the mass of either one. So we're going to find the mass of the pencil. And to do that, we have to compare it to a known mass. So with the pan balance generally comes these weights. And the weights have the masses on them. So the green one here, you'll see a 20 grams along the top. The yellow one has a mass of 10 grams. The red one has a mass of 5 grams. And the purple one has a mass of 1 gram. All right, let's find the mass of this pencil. So I'll put it in the side, and that, of course, goes down, so we need to level it out on this side. So I'll start with the heaviest mass that we have, and this one is 20 grams. The green one's 20 grams. Do you think that's less or more than 20 grams? Less or more than 20 paper clips? Let's see. Definitely less than 20 grams. So let's take this out, and we'll go to the next largest one. The yellow one is 10 grams. So let's put that in. Still going down too far, it looks like. Yep, that's too far. So let's take this out. Now let's go with the next one. The red one is 5 grams. All right, well, the pencil's more than 5 grams. So now we'll use the purples, which are 1 each. So let's see. That's 6. All right, it's a little more than 6 grams. Let's try this one. There we go. Looking good. All right, it's a little more than 6, a little less than 7. So it's about 6.5 grams. It's halfway in between. So the mass of the pencil is 6.5 grams. All right, so now this time let's find the mass of the marker. Let's see if you can get closer. We have already established that the mass of the marker is more than the mass of the pencil. So we know it's more than 6 grams. So how many paper clips do you think it would take to equal the mass of this marker? So let's go ahead and try. Write down your prediction. All set? All right, let's get started. So of course I'm going to put the marker in. And like I said before, we're going to start with the heaviest mass, and this is 20 grams. So let's see. Do you think it's more than 20? Nope, it's less than 20. So I'm going to take that out, put that down. The yellow one has a mass of 10 grams. Oh, we're getting somewhere. So this is more than 10 grams. All right, so let me put in a red one. Seems to be a little less than 15 grams. So let's take out the red one and replace it with the purple ones, which each have a gram of 1. So there's 2. I put 2 in, so that's 12 grams, 13 grams. All right, looks like it's about 14 grams. Were you close? Did you enjoy learning about mass today? Did you like the pan balance? In the next lesson, you're going to learn how to use a triple beam balance. Well, that's it for today, scientists. Email comments and questions to overthetopscience@gmail.com. And happy science, everyone.